touch fair. Reach out and touch fair. Reach out and touch fair. Your own impersonal Jesus. Reach and touch fair.
drive into the heart of me. The love we shared seems to go. tainted love, tainted love, tainted
The time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once. I'm one of those melodramatic fools, talented to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Oh, I'm just stoned. About it moving back. I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. She said it's like obsessed, that's bringing me down. I went to the wall. He said my love is a war, and when no willing, cause it's bringing her down. Yes, sometimes I give myself a trip. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just a paranoid? Oh, I'm just stoned. Sometimes I give myself the creeps, yeah. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Oh, I'm just stoned. Yes, stoned. I'm just stoned.
Words don't come easy to me. How can I find a way for me to say I love you? Words don't come easy. Words don't come easy to me. This is the only way don't come easy. Well, I'm just a music man. Melody so far, my best friend. But my words are coming out wrong, and I reveal my heart to you and hope that you believe it's true. 'Cause words don't come easy to me. How can I find a way to make you see I love you? Words don't come easy. This is just a simple song that I've made for you on my own. There's no hidden meaning, you know, when I say I love you, honey. Please believe I really do. 'Cause words don't come easy to me. This is the only way for me to say I love you. Words don't come easy. Words don't come easy. Words don't come easy.
How much
treat myself and visit a nearby tower and climb into the top while threw myself off in an effort to make it clear to whoever what it's like when you shattered left-handed in the lodge at the church where people saying, my God, that's tough. She stood him up, not finding us, reminding might as well go home as I did on my own, alone again, naturally. To think that only yesterday I was cheerful, bright and gay, looking forward to, but who wouldn't do the role I was about to play? But as if to knock me down, reality came around, and without so much as a mere touch, got me into little pieces, leave me to that all about God and His mercy. For if He really does exist, why did He desert me in my hour of need? I truly am indeed alone again, naturally. It seems to me that there are more hearts broken in the world that can be mended, left unattended. What do we do? What do we do? Now looking back over the
She was more like a beauty queen from a movie scene. Say to my, but what don't you mean I am the one who will dance on the floor in a round? She said I am the one who will dance on the floor in a round. She told me her name was Billie Jean as she caused a scene that every hurt through with eyes dream of being the one who will dance on the floor in the round. People always told me, be careful what you do, and you don't run breaking your girl's heart. And mother always told me, be careful of your love, be careful what you do, 'cause the lie becomes a truth, yeah. Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who lives at other one. But the kid is not my son. She says I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. 40 days and 40 nights, love was on her side. Who can stand when she's seen the man's schemes and plans? 'Cause we dance on the floor in a round. So take my strong advice, just remember to always think twice. She told me, baby, we dance to three. She looked at me and showed for my baby cries. Eyes were like mine, 'cause we dance on the floor in a round. Ooh, people always told me, be careful what you do, to go around breaking your girl heart. And mother always told me, be careful who you love, be careful what you do, 'cause the lie becomes a truth, yeah. Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. Ooh, the Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. She says I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. Billie Jean is not my lover, she's just a girl who claims that I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. She say I'm the one, but the kid is not my son. Billie Jean is not my love, Billie Jean is not my love. Billie Jean is not my love.
mi sono avvicinato, lei già non capiva niente. L'ho guardata, m'ha guardato e mi sono scatenato. Fred Astaire al mio confronto era statico, imbranato. Le ho sparato un bacio in bocca, uno di quelli che schiocca. Sulla pista mi ha volata, lì per lì l'ho strapazzata. L'ho lasciata riferrata, senza fiato l'ho lasciata. Tra le braccia mi è cascata, era cotta innamorata. Per i fianchi l'ho bloccata e ne ho fatto marmellata. Oh yeah, si dice così, no? E poi
Non vedi che lei non ci sta? Ma quale idea? È maliziosa ma saprà tenere a bada un super bullo buffo come te. E poi che ha vestite speciale che di un'altra non c'è. Quale idea? Non vedi che lei non ci sta? Ma quale idea? Attento, lei lunga la sa, lei ti farà girare in tondo senza avere mai le cose che pretendi. E scusa, in fondo è scusa tu che dai.
m'è venuta una pensata. Nella tanna l'ho portata, l'ho versato. L'ho lanciata, lei s'è fatta una risata. Al mio whisky si è aggrappata e 5 litri si è scolata. Mi sembrava bella andata. M'ha baciato, l'ho baciata. Ad un tratto l'ho agganciata. Dalle braccia mi è scusciata. M'ha guardata, l'ho guardata, l'ho bloccata, accarezzata. Sorrisino soddisfatta, ma sembrava una patata. L'ho cappata, l'ho frullata e ne ho fatto una frittata. Oh yeah. E poi
Quale idea? Non vedi che lei non ci sta? Ma quale idea? È maliziosa ma saprà tenere a bada un super bullo buffo come te. E poi che ha vestite speciale che ni un'altra non c'è. Quale idea? Non vedi che lei non ci sta? Ma quale idea? Quale idea? Non vedi che lei non ci sta? Ma quale idea? Quale idea? Quale idea? Non vedi che lei non ci sta?
It's on the front page of the papers. This is their hour of need. Where's a policeman when you need one? Blame the color TV. Let's take a ride and run with the ducks tonight in suburbia. You can hide and run with the ducks tonight in suburbia. Run with the ducks tonight. You can hide in suburbia.
Some boys kiss me, some boys hug me. I think they're okay. If they don't give me proper credit, I just walk away. They can beg and they can plead, but they can't see the light. That's right. 'Cause the boy with the cold hard cash is always Mr. Right. 'Cause we are living in an ethereal world, and I am an ethereal girl. You know that we are living in an ethereal world, and I am an ethereal girl. Some boys romance, some boys low dance. That's alright with me. If they can't rise my interest, then I have to let them be. Some boys try and some boys lie, but I don't let them play. Only boy who saved their pennies make my rainy dance. 'Cause they are living in an ethereal world, and I am an ethereal girl. You know that we are living in an ethereal world, and I am an ethereal girl.
fun to stay at the YMCA. YMCA. They have everything that you need to enjoy. You can hang out and play the boys. YMCA. YMCA. You can get yourself lit. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man, are you listen to me? I say, young man, what do you want to be? I say, young man, you can make real your dreams, but you've got to know this won't fade. No man, does it all by myself. I say, young man, put your pride on the shelf and just go there to the YMCA, and sure they can help you today. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. YMCA. They have everything that you need to enjoy. You can hang out and play the boys. Stay young man. It's our place. They can start you back on your way. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. YMCA. You have everything that you need to enjoy. You can hang out and play the boys. YMCA. YMCA. You can get yourself lit. You can have a good meal. You can do whatever you feel. Young man.
Don't get me wrong. If I'm looking kind of dazzled, I see neon light whenever you walk by. Don't get me wrong. If you say hello and I take a ride, I wanna see what the mystic moon is playing about with the tide. Don't get me wrong. Oh, listen to me, don't get me wrong, sugar. If I'm acting so distracted, I'm thinking about the fireworks, you know, then go off when you smile. Don't get me wrong. Ever play like light reflected, I'm only up to wonder how close the moonlight mile. Oh, once in a while, two people meet, see me glad for no reasons. They just pass on the street, suddenly thunder, showers everywhere. Who can explain the thunder and the rain? But there's something in the air. Oh, in the air. Don't you know, honey? Yeah. Wait a minute. Don't get me wrong. imperfections. I might be great tomorrow, but hopeless yesterday. Don't get me wrong, don't get me wrong. Oh, if I fall in the mud of patience, I might just be fantastic. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and no one on earth could feel like this. I'm thrown and overblown with bliss. There must be an angel playing with my heart. I walk into an empty room and suddenly my heart goes boom. It's an orchestra of angels, and they're playing with my heart. Must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and no one on earth could feel like this. I'm thrown and overblown with bliss. There must be an angel playing with my heart. And when I think that I'm alone, it seems there's more of us at home. It's a multitude of angels, and they are playing with my heart. Must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to and must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to an angel. Must be talking to and be talking to and must be talking to an angel. Just be talking to an angel. I must be hallucinating, watching angels celebrating. Could this be reactivating all my senses dislocated? This must be strange deception by celestial intervention, leaving me the recollection of your heavenly connection. No one on earth could feel like this. It's a human sign when things go wrong, when the scent of her lingers and temptation strong, into the boundary of each married land. Sweet, sweet down, scarlet, come scarlet.
Saturday night. Far away on the other side, he was catch in the middle of a desperate fight, and she couldn't find how to push through the peace, the whisper in the air. I carried away by a moonlight shadow, sing a song of sorrow and a grieving. I carried that way by a moonlight shadow. All she saw was a silhouette of a girl far away on the other side. He was shot 6 times by the men of the run, and she couldn't find how to push through. I stay, I pray, I see you in heaven far away. I stay and I pray, I see you in heaven far away. Carried away by a moonlight shadow, watch your vision forming. Carried away by a moonlight shadow, I was sliding the silvery night. Far away on the other side, will you come to talk to me this night? She couldn't find how to push it through. Now stay, and I pray, I see you in heaven far away. I stay, I pray, I see you in heaven far away.
Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. But now you should be somehow realize that you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Back then, the war was on the street and the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you had it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the light that led us, they are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. 'Cause maybe you're gonna be the one that saved me. And after all, you're my wonderwall. Today it was gonna be the day, but they never throw it back at you. But now you should be somehow realize that you're not to do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. And all the roads that lead to you were winding, and all the lights that light the way are blinding. The many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. I said maybe Oh my wonder I said, maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. You're gonna be the one that saves me. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield, my missionaries in that foreign field. Seas will rise when I gave the world. Now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice. Feel the fear in my enemy's eye. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. 1 minute I held the key. Next the whole world closed to me, and I discovered I might castle stand. Up a pillar of salt and pillar of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my hero, my sword and shield, my missionaries in that foreign field. For some reason I can't explain, once you go there was never an honest word. And that was when I ruled the world. It was a wicked and wild wind, blew down the doors to let me in. Shattered window and the sound of drums. People can't believe what I'd become. Revolutionaries wait for my head on a silver plate, just a puppet on a lonely string. Oh, who would ever want to be a king? I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing. Be my mirror, my sword and shield,
I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special. Once beaten, twice shy, I kept my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? Well, it's been a year, it doesn't surprise me. Happy Christmas, I wrap it up and send it. Leave a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kiss me now, I know you'd fool me again. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I give it to someone special. Last Christmas, but the very next day, this year, I give it to someone. Across that room, friends with dark eyes, I'm hiding from you, and you're so wise. I thought you were someone to rely on me. I guess I was a shoulder to cry on, a face on a lover with the fire in his heart, a man undercover, but you tore me apart. Now I found a real love, you'll never fool me again. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day, you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I give it to someone special. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Ooh, this year, I gave you my heart. Last Christmas, very next day, I gave you my heart. Give it to someone. Last Christmas.
Words like balance break the silence, come crashing in into my little world. Painful to me, pierce right through me. Can't you understand? Oh, my little girl. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. unnecessary. They can only do harm. Words are spoken to be broken. Feelings are intense, words are trivial. Pleasures remain, so does the pain. Words are meaningless and forgettable. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. Words like violence break the silence. Come crashing into my little world. Painful to me, fears rise through me. Can you understand? Oh, my little girl, all I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms. Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm. All I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here, is in my arms. Words are very unnecessary. They can only do harm.
My baby don't care for shoes. My baby don't care for clothes. My baby just cares for me. My baby don't care for cars and races. My baby don't care for high-tone places. Liz Taylor is not his style. care for high town places. Liz Taylor is not his style, and even Lever Rice's smile is something he can't see. Is something he can't see. I wonder what's wrong with baby. My baby just cares for me.
Deep in my heart, there's a fire, a burning heart. Deep in my heart, there's desire for a start. I'm dying in emotion. It's my world in fantasy. I'm living in my dreams. You're my heart, you're my soul. I'll keep it shining everywhere I go. You're my heart, you're my soul. I'll be holding you forever, stay with you together. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, feeling that our love will grow. You're my heart, you're my soul. That's the only thing I really know. Let's close the door and believe my burning heart. Feeling alright, come on, open up your heart. I keep the candles burning, let your body melt in mine. I'm living in my dreams. You're my heart, you're my soul. I'll keep it shining everywhere I go. You're my heart, you're my soul. I'll be holding you forever, stay with you together. You're my heart, you're my soul. Yeah, I'm feeling that our love will grow. You're my heart, you're my soul. That's the only thing I really know. It doesn't matter who's wrong or right. from nowhere. On my own, like Tarzan boy, hide and seek and play along while rushing across the forest. Monkey business on a sunny afternoon. Jungle life, I'm living in the open. Native beat that carries on, burning bright. I fire that blows the signal to the sky. I see the wonder that the message getting you. It's alright, you won't miss home. Take a chance, leave everything behind you. Come and join me, won't be sorry. It's easy to survive. Jungle life, we're living in the open. All alone, like Tarzan boy. Hide and seek, we play alone while rushing across the forest. Monkey business on a sunny afternoon.
To do is say, you know you satisfy everything in me. We shouldn't waste a single day. So don't stop me falling, it's destiny calling. A power I just can't deny. It's never changing, can you hear me? I'm saying I want you for the rest of my life. Together forever and never to part. Together forever we two. And don't you know I would move heaven on earth to be together forever with you. Together forever. Looking from a window above, it's like a story of love. Can't you hear me? Came back only yesterday. I'm moving farther away. Won't you near me? All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. Sometimes when I think of her name, when it's only a game, and I need you, listen to the words that you say. It's getting harder to stay. When I see you, all I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. This is going to take a long time, and I wonder what's mine. Can't take no more. Wonder if you'll understand. It's just a touch of your hand behind a closed door. All I needed was the love you gave. All I needed for another day. And all I ever knew, only you. Only you. Only you.
if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be here now. And if I didn't want you, I would have turned around by now. You got to believe me, babe. Believe that I love you so. 'Cause if I didn't love you, I would have turned around. And if I didn't want you, then I would want you out. This love has filled me up. My love, I'll never give you up. 'Cause I always want your love. If I could change the way I live my life today, I wouldn't change a single thing. 'Cause if I share my world into another place, I wouldn't see your smiling face. Living is the answer to all your fears. When I first said I love you, I went it for the kill. Now when I say I love you, I mean I always will. This love has filled me up. My love, I'll never give it up. 'Cause I will always want your love. If I could change the way I live my life today, I would not change a little thing.
Buenas tardes a todos. Lo primero que quería era daros la bienvenida a este acto como vicerrectora de los campus y sostenibilidad de la Universidad Politécnica de Valencia. Darles la bienvenida y agradecer también a la Hermandad de Arquitectos a través del aula HNA UPV el poder acoger hoy en la Universidad Politécnica de Valencia, en la Escuela de Arquitectura, a Lluís Tesuca. También en este acto, como sabéis, vamos a proceder, y también es otro motivo de satisfacción para la universidad, vamos a proceder a la entrega de los premios de la primera convocatoria del premio PFC Aula HNA UPV. Bien, pero todo esto que estamos es gracias al interés, al trabajo, al buen hacer de muchas personas, algunas de las cuales están aquí sentadas en esta mesa conmigo, y voy a pasar inmediatamente a presentarles. A mi derecha, perdón, a mi izquierda, al que todos conocéis, es que estábamos al revés antes, el señor director de la Escuela Técnica Superior de Arquitectura, Universidad Politécnica de Valencia, don Iván Cabrera. A mi derecha, don Kesemi Rojina, arquitecto, de Pesenik and Rochina Architects. Junto a Iván tenemos a Rosa Sadagueli, responsable de Relaciones Institucionales del Grupo HNA, y sentadas a los extremos a Lluís Tesuca, de Tesuca Architects, y a la directora del aula HNA, señora doña Eva Álvarez, de la Universidad Politécnica de Valencia. Voy a dar la palabra a Eva Álvarez.
Buenas tardes, gracias a todos por venir, gracias a la vicerrectora de los campus y sostenibilidad, al director de la escuela, a los conferenciantes y a la Rosa Saralegui de HNA, por toda la colaboración y todo el apoyo para que este acto pueda tener lugar hoy. Por supuesto, gracias a todos por venir. Llevamos un semestre incansable. Mis hijos me preguntan si voy a volver a la vida anterior y no sé qué responderles. Hemos organizado Aula HNA in Motion, el concurso en Instagram de fotografía, que fue apoyado con las conferencias de Clearjos Papanicolau, de la ETH de Zúrich, Achu Amán y Gonzalo Pardo, de la UPM, de la Universidad Politécnica de Madrid, y Ana Puyaner, que ahora actualmente está dando clase en la escuela del Arts College de Londres. También hemos convocado el concurso de PFC, Se me olvidaba decirles que al concurso de fotografía se presentaron 207 fotografías y que hoy tenemos aquí al ganador. En el concurso de PFC, en el primer concurso de PFC, se han presentado 44 propuestas. Han sido seleccionadas 10 y finalmente han resultado 3 premiadas. Hoy tenemos la conferencia de Yui Tezuka, presentada por Cresimir Rogina, que finaliza un seminario, por llamarlo de alguna manera, que se llama School Lab, que es una especie de paraguas en el que han pasado Marilda Zulay, Arnau Boix, Asun Mayoral, Isabel Montiel, Lacho Amán, Carlos Ripoll, Sema Segovia, Joe Freeman, Silvia Máiquez, Juan Freire, Cresimir Rogina, Yasmín Sharif y Yui Tezuka. ¿Por qué hacemos todo esto? Por el gusto de charlar, de coger las cosas con calma, de pensar. Queremos contribuir a que haya espacios para pensar en aquello que no es urgente, que no es necesario, que no es preciso, aunque justamente yo considero todo lo contrario. No me voy a alargar más y quiero recordarles la enorme presencia de mujeres arquitectas que procuramos que haya. Ya saben todo lo que pienso sobre ese tema. Gracias.
Muchas gracias, Eva. A continuación doy la palabra a Rosa Saragueri como responsable de las relaciones institucionales del Grupo HNA.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos. Gracias a todos, en especial a Eva, como directora de Aula HNA, que sin ella pues, no podría haber sido posible realizar todas estas acciones. También, y como no, a nuestra invitada de honor, a Yui Tezuka. Es un placer y un privilegio tenerte entre nosotros. Desde HNA queremos agradeceros a todos vuestra participación e implicación. Como muchos ya sabéis, HNA trata de apoyar la profesión del arquitecto desde los primeros años, ofreciendo oportunidades y facilidades en vuestro inicio y en general a lo largo de toda vuestra carrera profesional, fomentando el talento y el espíritu emprendedor que os caracteriza. Nos sentimos orgullosos de haber realizado en estos últimos 4 años más de 500 eventos para estudiantes de arquitectura, que muestra nuestro compromiso con vosotros. Es un placer compartir estas jornadas con gente tan maravillosa y espero seguir viéndoos en los próximos eventos que realicemos aquí y en otras escuelas. Muchas gracias a todos.
Gracias. Bien, a continuación la palabra se la doy a Iván Cabrera, el director de la escuela.
Bona vesprada a tots, buenas tardes, good evening. Bueno, yo voy a hacer una serie de agradecimientos muy rápidos por parte de la escuela. Para empezar, quiero darle las gracias, utilizando como portavoz interlocutora a Rosa Saralegui, darle las gracias a HNA, precisamente porque el hecho de que hoy nos convoquemos aquí en todo lo que, esta semana hemos hablado por los pasillos, vas a ir a la conferencia HNA, vas a ir a la conferencia HNA, es decir, los premios HNA, la conferencia HNA, es decir, que ellos hayan implicado en estas cuestiones es muy de agradecer. Porque, al fin y al cabo, HNA es el acrónimo de la Hermandad Nacional de Arquitectos, que es la casa de seguros que todos tomamos como arquitectos para luego tener la cobertura sanitaria, el plan de pensiones y muchos otros aspectos. Y claro, quizás otra empresa similar preferiría bombardearnos con publicidad por la tele. Sin embargo, HNA ha decidido invertir en la excelencia de las escuelas de arquitectura. Y eso es algo a lo que tenemos que estar profundamente agradecidos. Es decir, ellos buscan una conferenciante de relevancia que paralice durante una tarde esta escuela y que nos convoca hoy aquí. Buscan cuál es el mejor proyecto final de carrera y lo premian con unos premios que son sustantivos y con unas cantidades económicas que pocas veces vemos en convocatorias. Por todo eso, en nombre de los que constituimos la escuela, muchísimas gracias HNA, muchísimas gracias Rosa. Darle las gracias a Eva por la dedicación que pone en la programación tan cuidadosa del aula HNA. Bueno, la programación es tan cuidadosa que todo el mundo lo conoce como la cátedra HNA, que debe estar al caer, pero todo el mundo la llama así ya. Muchas gracias, Eva. Y ya mirando a mi derecha, a la vicerrectora, muchas gracias por venir. Con el trabajo que hay en rectorado siempre encuentras ese espacio para atender nuestras peticiones y nuestros eventos, que es muy satisfactorio. No me voy a extender más, porque el último agradecimiento es para todos vosotros por participar de este acto de esta tarde que es tan importante. Gracias.
Bien, y finalmente en esta primera parte vamos a dejar la mesa dentro de un momento y vamos a dejar a los protagonistas, que es a quien habéis venido a escuchar. En principio, la conferencia Nostalgic Future de Yui Tezuka. Y antes voy a dar la palabra, nos vamos a levantar a don Cresimir Rojina, que nos va a presentar la obra y trayectoria profesional de Yui Tezuka. Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much. My voice broke yesterday during my lecture, so I will be very, very short. I'm very, very happy to be with you tonight and to bring you an extraordinary architectural personality. Not only architecture, but a personality in general. Yui Tezuka, the part of the Tezuka architects with her husband, Takaharu. I'm good friend with them for several years, many years. And we did a lot of interesting things together. I'm always amazed in their company. I'm always come richer after our meetings in Tokyo or on other parts of the world. Because they are all in architecture, but architecture for them is life. Life is architecture. So their attitude is something that's completely different and which changed my attitude to the architectural practice. So she is going to talk about wonderful works they did, but under these works are procedures and things that are just you can imagine after this lecture. So please, Yui, I'm not going to be. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much for inviting me to this lecture. It is very honor for me to come to Valencia. It's my first time to come here, and I spent a great time from yesterday, even although I lost my luggage at the airport. And I saw the beautiful building, commodity exchange building today. That was one of the most beautiful architecture I've seen. So thank you very much. And before I start talk about my project, I'd like to introduce you the workshop which we are doing with Mr. Rojina for 5 years. And it is going to be held in Croatia, in Grozny. It's a very small town in Estonia. It's a very beautiful town. It's a very small town. And we stay there around 2 weeks to have a workshop. And there are many students coming from all over the world, including Japanese students, Asian students. And so I assure you, you can have a great time there. So please Google it and join us. Yeah. Okay. And as you know, I work with my husband, Takaharu Tezuka. And you can see he always wear in blue, and I always wear in red. So you can see my iPhone is red, and you can see my socks is red. And when we decide we are red and blue, we decided everything we share is in yellow. So our daughter is in yellow, and eventually we got a son. And he's supposed to be yellow as well, but my daughter said he should be in green. So he became green. So our family is primary colors. It's very easy to recognize us. There, I found a very beautiful artwork at the Pompidou Center. Yeah. And I start talk about row house. This house is we designed this house 2000, so it's getting very old. But this house is a very small house, but it's easier for you to understand our philosophy. Yeah, this is the house the owner of the row house used to live in. When we went to see the first time, the wife took us upstairs. How does it work? Screen. I point the screen. What do you mean? Is this what? Point the screen. I see. Okay. Sorry. And the wife took us upstairs, and she jumped off from the window to the roof. And she said, "This is my favorite space." And we were so surprised. And she showed us a picture to prove. Their daughters are smiling on the tiny and steep roof, and you can see there is no handrail whatsoever, and you can see some ceramic tiles are falling off. So we must say it is quite dangerous. Then we decided to design this kind of house. And we designed a single-story house with inclined rooftop. And we can say the rooftop of the inclined rooftop is different from the flat rooftop of just like modern building. In Japan, if you go to riverbank, you can see many couples sitting on the riverbank. It's nice to sit on the inclined surface, and they can share the view with the person next to. So you can say there is a splash in the water, so there must be some kind of fish down there. So that kind of stupid conversation works on riverside. So the silence can be romantic at the riverside. And you know that there is a piazza in front of the Pompidou Center. It's also inclined and collecting many people. So inclination has some kind of effect to the activity of the people. So this roof is inclined. And to access to the roof, we started putting skylights because they used to come out from the window. You know, when you do, you are not supposed to do, you feel good. So we instead of making a staircase, we staircase and roof staircase, we start using skylight. And then the younger sister said, "This is my skylight." And the elder sister said, "The skylight in the bedroom is mine." And the father said, "The skylight in the main bedroom is mine." And the mother said, "The skylight in the kitchen is mine." So everybody has their own skylight, and they can lean the ladder underneath, and they can come up to the roof whenever they like. And the wife said, "It seemed we are going to have lunch on top, so we need a table and benches, so we designed this." And she said, we need some kind of privacy on the roof. It's quite strange to have privacy on the roof, but we designed a small wall here. And she said, "My mother lives 80 meters down here, and I like to make sure if she is alive or not in the morning. So we have to cut the corner of the wall." And she said, "Roof is very hot in summer, so we designed a shower behind the wall." And she said, "It's very cold in winter, so we designed a stove on the roof." So there are so many things going on the roof. And this house is located right on the edge of the residential area. So from the rooftop, you can see the beautiful valley and the mountain. Yeah, this is the section. And father said, "Okay, I like barbecue, and I like to do barbecue on the rooftop." But we said, "Please don't do that. This is going to be a wooden house. You may burn your house." And he said, "Okay, I'll do barbecue in the garden." So he said, "Please make sure the roof is low enough to pass the barbecue onto the roof." So we tried to make this roof as low as possible. So minimum ceiling height is only 1.9 meter. It's enough for Japanese. And we tried to make this roof as thin as possible because we tried to, like a sheet of paper. So if you pop your head up, you can see the different part because this is the boundary between the life on the roof and the life under the roof. And only the thickness of total thickness of this roof is 150 millimeter. And this is show the structure. So we make this thin roof with, we make a wooden grid, and we applied plywood on the two layer of plywood on the both sides. And this making a very strong non-directional slab. And the inclination of this roof is 1/10. It's about the same inclination as the ground around here. And this is a plan. A plan is very simple, a very traditional plan. And all rooms are divided by the sliding doors. And all the sliding doors can be stored in the storage. So space becomes one. And you can open all the windows from one end to another. And each room has one skylight. Sorry. And this is a plan of the roof. Roof is much bigger than the house itself. And you can see many things going on. Actually, the elder sister playing football here. Actually, she said it's nice to practice football on the roof, but because when she kicks the balls come back automatically. And this is a picture under construction. This is me in the corner. And this is how it is built. And then when this house was published, we got a complaint from the professional. This must be an illegal architecture. There is no handrail. And when we designed this house, we thought we need handrail. So we used to draw some handrail here on the drawing. But the father said, do you need any handrail on the rooftop? Because this house doesn't have 100 on the roof, and this house doesn't have 100 on the roof. And the house they used to live in doesn't have 100. So he said, we don't need 100 on the roof. So we didn't put any 100. And you can see many activities going on the roof. And this is a view toward the valley and the mountain. And when they have lunch on top, the neighbors, actually the level of the neighbor's garden is quite similar to the level of the roof. And when they have lunch, he came up and he said, "Can I join you?" Yeah. And this is another side of the view. This family is quite strong, so they started using this roof before the construction was finished. And one day, they called us and she said, let's have lunch. But at the time, the kitchen wasn't ready. And so she said, please, let's order pizza. So she called to Pizza Hut, and 10 minutes later, the Pizza Hut guy came along this way, on his bike, and he looked up and he said, where can I deliver pizza? So we took a ladder behind the wall and put the ladder here. So the delivery man came up the ladder with pizza, and he said, where should I take off my shoes? We said, oh, please take off your shoes wherever you like. And after that, the family likes to order pizza every time when we have meeting on the roof. So each time, different delivery men came to deliver. And what they said was, this house became famous in the Pizza Hut, so everybody wants to see this. So we have to make switches. And this is how they have lunch every day. And when this house was published, one of the critics criticized us, and he said, the rooftop is very hot in summer and very cold in winter, so nobody would use it. And so it must be a fiction. We architects shouldn't do that kind of things. And when the family read that article, they got quite upset, and they wrote back, the roof is very hot in summer, so they climb up on the roof in the morning or in the evening, and it should be cool enough. And in the winter, they come up to the roof after lunchtime. It's warm enough. And why the architects doesn't understand that kind of simple thing? That was very strong comment. We we have the, how can I say, we used to choose the comfort. We used to find the comfort through the timing and the location without using any technology. Now we are too much trying to control the technology. We are trying to control the environment too much with the technology. We can, you know, the cats find a favorite place to raise, so we can do that kind of things. So how can I say? We go skiing in winter. The temperature is somehow like minus 20 degrees, and we go swimming in summer. The sun is sometimes 50 degrees. So the comfort is not about the temperature. The comfort is about the level of pressure. So how can I say? That kind of natural way of living is we learned from this family. And this is the kitchen. Cheapest kitchen we have ever designed. And this is the shower. When we designed this shower, we thought that younger sister would use this shower. But one day we got a call from the client. She said, it was very nice to take hot shower in typhoon. Yeah. She was using very seriously. And there is a space under the roof, and you can see the view, beautiful view of the mountain. And you can see there is no window. We can open all the windows. And because they spent most of the money on the roof, they couldn't even afford to buy a sofa. So they call this their sofa. And this is another side. You can see the ladders going up and going down. And they don't have curtain at the window, but they can close the sliding doors to keep the privacy at night. And bathroom also has a skylight. One is to look upstairs from the bathtub, and one is to climb up on the roof after taking hot bath. And this is the ladder, and they can hang the towel to this ladder. And kitchen also has a skylight to pass the food onto the roof. The daughters are climbing up the ladders, and they are looking down, and one of their friends is popping out from the skylight. And when you see the red and blue people sitting on the edge of the roof, you can see red and blue socks. You can see the importance of the thinness of the roof. Yeah, this is the view after dark. In this house, everything is one-to-one. One light bulb is hanging down for one activity, and one lantern for one skylight. Yeah, this is the daytime. We learned 2 lessons after this house was completed. Because one is, we don't need to explain about the concept. You know that we can't explain, we architects try to explain the concept, our philosophy behind the shape is something like that. But how can I say, we can't stand next to a project all the time to explain the concept. So people have to understand the concept without any explanation. In this house, people understand the concept without explanation. When this house was published in the Architecture Review, they wrote an article. In Tokyo, there is a lack of space, so people are using the roof. Actually, it was lie. So this house is close to Tokyo, but not in the Tokyo. But I can say they could understand the concept. And the second thing is the architecture can change the life of the people. The wife of this row house, she got the degree of psychology after this house was finished, and she started counseling at the junior high school. And she started counseling in this house. She took her student into this house, and one day, very bad-looking junior high school student, the boy came to this house, and he climbed up the ladder, and he climbed up the roof, and he said, I could be a better person if I grown up in this house. That's a true story. Then we got a call from the owner of this kindergarten. The great thing about this kindergarten is that the corridor was external. So the principals kept walking along this corridor all the time, and when he pops his head into the classroom, we could hear the voices of the children. So the atmosphere was very nice, and there are big trees. And you know that the, yeah, actually this, sorry, the video is very strange. Yeah, you know that the children likes to make circle, yeah? And so we made it, this kindergarten to be a circle. So if we made this kindergarten to be a circle, principal can keep walking without knowing where to end. And also children can keep walking. And it's difficult to keep the, but we wanted to keep the trees. But it's difficult to keep the trees because if we cut the roots, the tree dies. So we did a kind of archaeological excavation to make sure we don't cut any root. So we didn't put any base beam around the trees. We spun the shrub around the tree. And this is how we get the trees. And the principal said, I don't want any handrail on this kindergarten on the roof, and because the roof house doesn't have a handrail. So, and what he said was, how about sticking out nets at the edge of the roof to catch the children who has fallen off? He was so serious. So we had to make a drawing, and we took the drawing to the architecture planning application to the government. And but they said it's impossible. So we couldn't keep his idea around the roof, around the edge, but we could keep the ideas around the trees. So we were allowed to call this rope a handrail. And you know, for children, this handrail is nothing, it's nothing to do with for children. So they keep falling off. We get more and more and more. Sometimes we get 40 children around the tree. And you know, he likes the tree and he's eating the tree. And this is how we get handrail. And we designed a special handrail. The gap between the vertical bar is 110 millimeter. So children cannot pop his head, but they can pull their legs out, so they can sit around the handrail. Monkeys behind the bar. It's like zoo and feeding time. Yeah. And again, this time, the roof, the ceiling height is quite low. It's only 2.1 meter. If the ceiling is high, we can't see the children. But this kindergarten, we can see the children on the roof and the children on the roof at the same time. And when this kindergarten was completed, we were surrounded by the 500 children. It was so I was so impressed. And this kindergarten was selected as one of the best kindergarten built in 50 years from OECD. Yeah, I was very happy to hear that. And this is how it is built. And there is a slider, and there's a staircase for the slider. And we make a mound, because we try to make this staircase as short as possible, so if the children fall off from this staircase, they don't break their neck. Yeah, and what they are doing is they are making mud balls with this mound. So if the 600 children start making mud ball, you know that this mound disappeared in a month. So the construction company complained, and they put that mound again. And this is the gargoyle to collect the leaves and the water. And the teacher is teaching what happened if the rain gathers and it makes the stream and it becomes a kind of river. And this is the lake washing place, and the water tap is free-shaped. So children can spray the water to their friend. And this boy, he is not washing his boot, washing his legs, he is putting water in his boot. Yeah. And this sliding, even the shape is oval, we have sliding doors. So there are 6 rails here. So the sliding doors moves on the curved rail like a train. And this is the interior. And you can see this kindergarten is completely open most of the year. So there is no boundary between outside and inside. So we can say basically this architecture is a roof. And you can see there is no boundary between the classroom. So there is no acoustic barrier at all. So, so if the, you know that if you put many children in a quiet box, some of them get really nervous. But in this kindergarten, they don't need to get nervous because there is no boundary. And the principal said, if the boy doesn't want to stay in a classroom, we let him go because he comes back eventually because it's circle. He comes back. And usually, this kind of occasion, children try to hide somewhere in the classroom. But in this kindergarten, he just leaves and comes back. Yeah, it's quite natural process. Yeah, you know, children sleep well in the noise. And how can I say, they don't sleep well in the quiet space. And how can I say, the noise is quite important. So, yes, I'll show you a video. I can't hear the sound. Sorry, the movie. Maybe I found that. Yeah, I didn't copy this PowerPoint from the I can say the USB to computer. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Yeah, I think I explained. Sorry, yeah. I'm sorry. What I want to say is that some years ago we were invited to see the Kecha dance, and yeah, when I recorded. When I recorded and with mobile, yeah, and when I played back the Kecha dance, the music was masked by the background noise. Yes, I wanted to show you that, but I'm sorry. And yeah, I should copy. And yeah, so what I want to say is that, how can I say, when I watched the Kecha dance, I didn't pay attention to the background noise. And I just enjoyed the music without distracting by the background noise. So how can I say, the noises, we human beings have the kind of ability to cancel, to cancel the noise, and we learn to ignore the noise, which we don't want to listen. Yeah. So you know that if you go to dive under the water, sometimes you can hear the noise from your body. So how can I say? So we learn to ignore the noise from inside of our body. The noise from the cardiovascular system is sometimes it should be louder than the noise from the construction site. So how can I say? We human beings evolved in the jungle, so we evolved in the noise. So noise is quite important for the people. So in this kindergarten, children get used to the noise, so they can ignore the noise, and they can show their quite amazing concentration in this kindergarten. Yeah, and I will talk about the nostalgic future. In the 20th century, how can I say, the future was a computer. So you can see in the movie like Tron, the character in the movie fight with the computer images. Yeah, and in the movie, you know the movie Matrix, it's getting a bit old movie, but in this movie, the things going on in the computer is much more real than the real world. So when the technology has advanced enough, we don't need to adjust ourselves into technology. We can just be ourselves, and technology exists like an air. So now the technology has advanced, so we can be more, we can have life, more human life. So I think that's the kind we call this, it's a nostalgic future. This is actually, they try to divide the classroom with furniture, and the children are supposed to help the teacher, but they don't. Yeah. We don't put him in. And they change the configuration of the class every year, every month. And this is the time of the exhibition. And this is the well. Yeah, there is no wall, so we designed this hand washing place like a well. And we try to force them to speak, talk each other. Now, children don't talk each other. They just talk to the mobile computer, mobile game machine. So we think that is not good for children. So we force them to talk each other. At the time of Christmas, and the tree is in the classroom. And they can fish the friends from above. The monkeys again. They can look down. At the time of Christmas, the Santa Claus coming down from this skylight, and they bring the present to children. They're so cute. And there is no wall, so the string is hanging down from the ceiling to read the light. If you pull the string, you can lit the 3 light bulbs. Yeah, and this is how it was built. And this drawing is showing the numbers of activity of the children. Actually, there is we didn't put any praying tool. So how can I say? If there are praying tool, the children have to pray. They can't choose how to pray. But because there is no praying tool, children can think about how to pray by themselves. So there are 8 times number of praying activities compared to the normal kindergarten. Yeah. This drawing is showing the movement of a boy from 9:10 to 9:30. So in 20 minutes, and the circumference of this kindergarten is 183 meters. It means he made a 6,000 meter in the morning. It's amazing as a kindergarten. And in this kindergarten, children make 4,000 meters on average. And they are showing amazing athletic abilities among the kindergarten. And I want this movie moves, but I'm sorry, I should. Sorry. It's a bit strange. Yeah. It's moving somehow. Yeah. And there is no sound somehow. I don't know. Yeah. Yes. Every day they are running on the roofs like this. Yeah. Sometimes they tumble. Yeah. I think that kind of thing is quite important for the children. I'm sorry, it's the bad condition. Yeah. So the principal said, yeah, we don't need to train them. He said, we leave them on the roof, just like sheep. Yeah, so that kind of thing is quite important. And one of the visitors said, what if it rains? And the principal said, when it rains, the children change the clothes. And he said, children are waterproof. You don't need to worry about. That's what he said. Yeah. And this is how they learn how to live in this world, I think. Yeah. And then the principal said he wants to have English classroom. So we designed this building. This is the building around the trees. Yeah. And this is 5-meter tall building, and there are 7 floors. So we try to make this floor as thin as possible. And it's about 9mm thick steel. And we try to make this everything in kid scale, and everything is in smaller scale. The column is about 3 centimeter by 3 centimeter. It's smaller than the branches. And when you design this kind of building, there must be a dangerous point. So first, we brought our children without helmet, and we leave them, and we try to find out where it's dangerous point. Yeah. And he crawled in, he hit his head, and he reported to me. Yeah, he's trying to see if it is safe to jump off. And we put children in. Yeah, he's climbing, and you can see there is traffic jam. Traffic jam is always trouble in Tokyo. Yeah, he's trying to see if he can jump off. Yeah, they are helping each other to climb on the floor. Yeah. This kind of activity is quite important for them. This is how they learn how to live in this world. Yeah. And this is a classroom. There is no furniture in the classroom because architecture becomes furniture. And you can see how happy she is. Yeah, children always love to touch the ceiling because usually they can't touch. This is the lighting. The image of the lighting is the flock of the fireflies reaching to this building. So the small light bulbs is putting on the how can I say, on the steel with magnet. And you know, as I talk about the next project, you know that tsunami happened. It reached over 40 meters, and many people died. And you know, you can see what happened to this city. And we got a call from UNICEF. They want us to help to rebuild the kindergarten, which lost by tsunami. And when we went to the site, this is the monk. He's the owner of the kindergarten. Yeah. And there, this is the approach to the temple, which the monk has, and these big trees are planted 400 years ago after the last tsunami. So in this area, when the earthquake happens, the tsunami comes, and the tree dies because of the salt in the water. And they use these trees to rebuild the village. So for them, it's a kind of life cycle. So the bank want to use this tree for the new kindergarten. So we decided to use these trees. And this approach used to be like this. And there is a temple on the hill at the end of approach. And the tsunami reached over at this point. So in this temple, they kept telling story. If earthquake happens, people must come to the temple, because this temple is existing here more than 1,000 years. So this temple have survived many tsunamis. So when the tsunami comes, the people are safe here. So yeah, tsunami reached at this point. So this is the gate of the temple. And the people escaped from the tsunami, and many people's lives are saved by this temple. And so we decided to use these trees, and we chopped it off. And you can see how big the tree is. The circumference is about 4 meter or 5 meter. And because these are not qualified wood, so there are woodpecker's nests, and it's quite heavy because it's not dried yet. And the weight of this crumb, 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter, is more than 1,000 kilogram. It's quite heavy. So we decided to use the traditional joinery for the structure, because the metal joint doesn't work for 400 years. And we want this kindergarten to survive another 400 years. So we decided to use traditional joinery like this. So we are using wedges. You know, this is the wedge to tighten the beam and the column. And this is how it is built. It looks like a national treasure. And we put the children in. Yeah, in this area, in winter, it snows a little bit. So the big eaves are sticking out. It makes a kind of outdoor space under the eave. This kind of outdoor space is quite important in this area. So they can hide in the shadow in summer, and they can running around the corridors, stay out from the snow. And this is interior, and we used up all the trees, even to the flooring. Yeah, I wanted another video, but I'm not sure it works. Sorry. Yeah, children. Just I want to show the children running around here. Yeah. 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 You can see they are standing another side of the handrail. Yeah. And there is a space under the floor. Yeah, you can see the monk who saved thousands of lives. He looks so happy. He looks like a children. Yeah, you can see the size of the column. We can't stop tsunami with architecture, but I think we can keep telling the story with architecture. So I hope this kindergarten can tell the story another 400 years. If the earthquake happens, people have to come to this kindergarten, to escape from tsunami. This is how we used up the trees. And then people start to live on the high ground, so they start to live around this kindergarten. So this is the one I showed now. And so we were asked to design an extension of the kindergarten. So we designed these 3 rooms. And there used to be a mountain around here, but the mountain was cut, and the soil was used to raise the ground around the coast. So this kindergarten was preserved for the memory of the, how can I say, the after the tsunami. So the kindergarten is left on the hill. And we designed this kindergarten we designed a new kindergarten, kind of, we elevated this room from the ground to leave the playground. And this is another. Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah, you can see the children can climb up on the hill. Yeah, I should have checked before. Yeah, you can see they can running around the corridor. Sorry, there should be a sound. Yeah. So there is a staircase to connect the rooms. Then I'll show you another project. We designed a science museum in Niigata. And in this site, there are beautiful forests. This forest is called Forest of Beauty. And these trees are Buna trees. And we named our daughter Buna after these trees. And actually, in this area, we get this area is known to be the heaviest snow in the world. And they have less body. And we designed this building. We designed this building as a kind of path to observe the nature around the building. So we make this kind of shape, and it looks small, but it's quite big. The length of this building is 460 meters, and we designed this building to be buried under the snow. So we used the cotton steel, and we weld the cotton steel together. It's like just like a submarine. So I can say this building is expands in summer because of the heat. So it's 20 centimeters longer in summer. So if you want to see the bigger building, you better go in summer. This is how it is built. There are big windows at each corner. And you can see how big it is. Yeah. This is summertime. And these windows are quite big. It's 3 meters by 14 meters. It's a sheet of plexiglass, so you can see there is no joint. The thickness is about 75 millimeters. And you can see, always you can see the window at the both, at the corner. So you don't feel enclosed. And this is the window. And after this museum was finished, we got a call from the curator. And he said, the birds are bumping into the windows and they are dying. So we said, sorry. And the next meeting, we said, I'm sorry for the birds. But he said, it's okay, you don't need to worry about. And he took us to his laboratory, and there we saw the many stuffed birds. And he said, this area is a national forest. He is not supposed to catch a bird, but this architecture is helping for him to catch a bird. So he said he was happy. Yeah. Yeah. You can see the view at the corner. You can see beautiful view. You can see the beautiful view from the top of the tower. This is 5 minutes after the snow. And it's 10 minutes after the snow. And in an hour, it's like this. And it's in a week, this building is buried under the snow. And you can see the crevasse around here. If you drop into this crevasse, you have to wait until May to come out. And this is the snow from the window. And actually, they removed the snow once in the first winter. But we said, yeah, you should keep that snow because this museum is about the snow. But they said, it's very scary. And they said, it's scary. And we said, it should be all right. And they said, it's very scary. Yeah. But how can I say, we can see the wildlife in the snow. So since this museum was built, many people come to see the snow. So snow became a kind of treasure for them. And I'll talk about the next project. Yeah, she is a Canadian Japanese artist who has woven the net for kids. Yeah, she wovens the net for kids by hand. And this is the net she made 30 years ago. And when she made this net 30 years ago, she wasn't so famous. So the museum put this net in the ugliest building we can think of. And the museum asked her to make a new net and asked us to make a new set over. But we said, I think this net should be nice in the outdoor. You know that the spider net should be looking good when you see outside, but when you see the spider net in the house, it's not looking good. But they said this museum is located in the volcanic area, so acid rain falls, so that melts the net. So you have to design a new shed over the net. So it was very difficult, but they want to keep the external air at the same time. So it was very difficult assignment. So we made this small model. Actually, the size of the model is about the size of the finger. It's very small, and we showed this model to the principal of the museum, and he liked it. He said, it's very cute, and 100% wood, it's quite nice. But he didn't know that this is 1 to 1,000 scale. Yeah. And we studied the Japanese traditional joinery to think about, to find a way to combine the woods. This is the Kiyomizu Temple in Kyoto, and we study the structure of the Kiyomizu Temple. And the joinery is very precise, and stands more than this temple is 800 years old. So some Japanese old temple lives longer than 1300 years old. So the wooden structure is very strong. And we came up to this model. It's a kind of accumulation of the algorithm, complex algorithm. Yeah. And this is how it is built. You can see the size of the people. And this is the entrance. And this is a net. And that we put tent over the net. Yeah. You can see the beautiful light coming through the net, coming through the structure. It's like light from the forest. Yeah, you can see their faces. They look so happy. Yeah. This is the best picture I have. I think this is the architecture. I like to make this kind of feelings in our architecture. She looks cute. Yeah, people are nested in the structure. This father must be very tired. And this is my son. He's so cute. Yeah, this is after dark. And then I'll talk about the next project. A couple whose child had cancer came to us. They asked us to design a humane space for children who are suffering from cancer. Once a child is diagnosed with cancer, he has to stay in a quarantine zone at the hospital for 6 months. And the mother, who naturally wants to stay with her child, she is not supposed to be in the hospital regularly. So she has to be in the very small space with her child, and she has to sleep on the cot for 6 months. So although the 80% of the children recover from the treatment, 1/3 of the families have the problem after the treatment because of this kind of harsh condition. So we thought we had to do something. So we proposed that, and when we asked the children, what do you want? And they answered, I want to go home. So we decided we wanted to make a kind of house. We designed a house for children. And we proposed that, how about making houses for children around the clinic? But children cannot walk outside. So we decided to put together the houses and the clinic all together, like a village. And we came up to this idea. We made a cluster with 5 houses. And 5 people works quite well as a group. And fathers can come back from outside, to their house. And this is, the fathers and their brother and sister can come back from this house, and they can have the doors to the clinic as well. So this is the patient room. So we can there is a door between the patient room and the family room. So if we close this door, we can reduce the quarantine period for 2/3. Yeah, this is how we came up to the clustered plan. And this is the approach to each house. There is a small garden in front of the house, and you can see the small garden from the patient room, and you can see the sky from the bedroom. And this is the common space in the clinic. Yeah. And then I'll talk about the next project. This is the clinic for women who is suffering from infertility. You know that the clinic for women, clinic for infertility is supposed to be a hospital legally, but the women who is suffering from infertility they are not sick people. They are much healthier than the normal people because they want baby. So we try to design this hospital as a kind of place where the breath of the life originates. So we try to create this hospital where the woman who is suffering from infertility can heal their mind in the natural environment. So we try to revive the forest in Okinawa. Actually, in Okinawa, the forest has lost because of the World War II. And we tried, and at the same time, the wooden architecture became obsolete in Okinawa because the forest was lost. So we tried to revive the wooden architecture as well. And we made this clinic with wood, and we made a wooden pavilion, and we try to connect the wooden pavilion with the external corridor. The name of this clinic is Sora no Mori. It means the forest in the sky. And this is how it is built. So the corridor is external. So most of the year, they can open the windows and they can enjoy the breeze from the sea. And the hospital usually the hospital is a non-bacterial, sterilized place. But you know that human beings have an immune system, and our body is full of bacteria, full of different bacteria. So we don't need to be enclosed in the sterilized environment for the women who is suffering from infertility. So we try to make this hospital is a kind of place where the people can enjoy the nature. And this is the plan. In the middle, we have operational rooms, and there are patient rooms around the operation room, and they are connecting each other with the external corridor. And this is the entrance, and this is the reception, and this is the consultation room. This is the space for the drip, drip kind of injection. And this is the nurse station. And this is the patient room. They call this patient room as guest room. So from the guest room, they can enjoy the view of the forest, and they can enjoy the wind. And this is the bathroom in the guest room. The deep eave is sticking out. It's 2 meter, more than 2 meter, and the ceiling height is 2.1 meter. So even it rains, they don't need to worry about the rain, but except in the typhoon. So they can keep the windows open most of the year. And this is how it is built. And this is the operation room. Operation room is covered, is made with concrete, and we cover the concrete with local limestone. And this is the operation room. And this is how it is built. I can say the concept of the Soronamori is quite obvious, but this kind of obvious thing is usually don't exist in the real society. So we try to make this, the kind of this obvious thing which don't exist. Yeah. This is the view after dark. And I'll talk about another project. This is a church and the kindergarten, Protestant church and the kindergarten. And I think we thought that the relation between the church and the kindergarten was important. So we decided to surround the elliptical church with the kindergarten. This is how it is built. And we made this church with wood again. And this chapel, this is the chapel. And chapel, the structure of the chapel is like a barrel. And it carries all the horizontal movement. So we don't need any wall in the kindergarten. And this is the entrance to the chapel. You can see the light from above. And the wall is finished with the 20,000 pieces of cedar wood. There are 3 kinds of thickness in the cedar wood. So they are making the uneven surface, and they are making a very good acoustic condition. Yeah, this is how it is built. And the benches are surrounded the altar. This, yeah. And this is the ceiling. Yeah, you can see the light from the skylight. Yeah, all pieces of wood are very carefully selected by the carpenter. And when you see that, it was, how can I say, it's very nice, yeah. Yeah, you know, he's Mr. Peter Cook. He came to see our church, and he pretended to be a pastor. This is the baptistry. And you can see the detail of the wall. And actually, they are our staff. They are in charge of this church. And when this church was finished, when this church was completed, they had the wedding ceremony here. And this is the service on Sunday. This is the lighting. The left lamp, you know left lamp, is coming down from the ceiling, and they lit the floors. And I'll talk about another church. This is a church in Kyushu, and the pastor of this church is very famous. He has supported the homeless people for long years, and he provided them the food and blanket, and even he helped them to find a job. So we decided to surround, this is the church, this is the chapel. We decided to surround the church with deep eave. We call this church Church of Eaves. So the space under the eave is no outdoor or indoor. And it's offering the shelter for the people, including the homeless people. So the people who is in need, actually he is sometimes hesitant to step into the chapel. They can spend some time here, and the people can see the chance to invite them to get inside and invite them for a meal. Yeah, this is how they use the space under the eave. And the eaves lived into the church, and it's connecting to the chapel. So it's making the continuous feelings. So chapel, this is chapel, and this is the, how can I say, the dining hall. It's all connecting together. And we can close the glass window here. So this is the chapel. The wall is made with clapboard. Yeah, so it's also making a very good acoustic condition. You can see the light from the gap of the ceiling and the wall. You can see the beautiful light here. Yeah, at the noon. And there is a small window. This window, they use this window for when they want to take the picture from above. Yeah, the pastor is popping his head from outside. And this is a baptistry. We try to make this baptistry as a kind of seat of water. So there is no edge. So this is the ceremony of baptism. Yeah. And there is a small room for the, how can I say, they can put the pot of the bones for the homeless people, and including the people in this church. This is the service on Sunday. And yeah, so we can close the glass door, so even the mothers who carries the baby can join the service from here. And I'll talk about another project. This is another project designed to be buried under the snow. It's in Niigata. And this is the old picture in Niigata, and you can see how much snow they have. And you can see the streets are covered with snow, and the ground floor is covered with snow. So they used to make a tunnel in the snow to across the street. And this is a tunnel in the snow. And they used to make this kind of space in front of the shop to walk. This space is called gangi. So we wanted to create this kind of space in our architecture. This is how much snow we have. Actually, she's a staff of my office. Yeah, she displayed how to go to the site. Yeah, actually, she did. And we can climb up on the roof when it snows. And we can open the bottom of the roof by hand. And it becomes a kind of eave when it opens. So it becomes, we can have the market on Sundays. Yeah, there are small shops. You can see many people. And this can be a small space for the family to have lunch. Yeah, this is the barber shop. And there is a space on the second floor. This is going to be a space for the people to gather in winter. And in front of this building has become event space. I'll talk about another project. This is also a public building. And the good thing about this building is the 2/3 of this building is external. And we make this long gable roof along the street. And this is the plan. The internal space is from here to here. So most of that space are external, because the mayor of the city wanted this kind of space, because in this city, so many people get older, and he wants to create a kind of space where people can come to have breakfast on foot. And this is the model. And this is how it is built. So there are markets on Sundays in front of this building. And so both sides, people can use it for event. So because this space is outside, so people can feel free to use this space. Yeah. And there is a bench under the eave for people to have rest and gather. And you can see the light coming through the eave. And actually, the cafe in the middle, they are providing very nice exotic food, spice food, very delicious. And people can have lunch on the bench, space under the eave. So many people can sit on the space under the eave. Yeah. The children, and we can have if you put the table, it can be a cafe. Actually, Taka is taking a nap, and this is a cafe. And we have the lunch with mayor. And there are many events. Actually, this monk is serving water to the guest. I don't know why he is doing that, but and they are enjoying poker. They are serving coffee to the people. They are practicing piano, and they have field for herb. They are growing herb at the backyard. And this is how it is built. And in winter. So this kind of external space is quite important in this area. And difficult to see. I'll talk about another project. This is nursery school at the foot of Fuji Mountain. It's difficult to see, but each room is round shape, and it's making kind of village for the children. So children can running around these circular rooms. So I don't have much photo because it wasn't finished yet. So I'll talk about the next project. And I'll talk about the next project. I'm going to speak about the building, Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Tomioka. Tomioka City, there is the oldest modern silk factory in Tomioka, and they established the factory in 1872. So that is listed in the World Heritage. And so we try to respect the wooden truss structure for the wooden factory, the silk factory, into modern language. And we made this model. The short edge of the site is facing to the old commercial district, and there used to be a very old wholesale kimono shop, and the main house has destroyed in the last big earthquake. And the old warehouse has barely survived. So we try to keep the traditional appearance, and also Tomioka City is known to be a front runner for the space rocket and the medical area. So we try to connect the latest technology and and tradition into in the one building. So the site is quite long and thin, and the building facing to the commercial district, we try to keep the old appearance, but we make this quite strong wooden structure along the site, and this shows the structure, and the geometry of this structure derives from the origami. Do you know origami? It's a quite traditional paper work, and so this makes the stable with very thin and light structure. And this structure is made with wood, and even the height of the ceiling is above 12 meters. The size of this structure, like a wooden mesh structure, is 170 by 170. It's quite thin and very strong. And we try to make this warehouse as a gateway to this passage. And this passage works as a kind of event space, along with this new Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And this is the structure. Now it's under construction, and we are designing a kind of mesh to control the sunlight. This is a mock-up of the mesh. And I'll talk about the last slide. We drive, this is a Citroën Ducibo, as you know. We have driven this car for more than 30 years, more than 20 years, And this car is not, you know that this car is, it's not the most beautiful car, but I can say we like this car so much, and we drive this car quite a long time. And we made more than 100,000 kilometers with this car. And in Japan, in Tokyo, the summer is very hot, but we don't have any air condition. So when it's hot, we can open the top. But when it rains, we have to close. But there is a small window and a small door under the window, and we can open the small window when it rains. But if you forget to close this window when you drive expressway, the water comes into the interior, and it's making a pool on the floor. And we look up the instructions, and we found out that they are saying there is a lava plug in the middle of the floor. So if the floor is making pool, you have to remove the lava plug. So we are amazed. That was quite a simple solution and very primitive, but not rational. So this car was in production for more than 50 years in France. Even the Japanese car has stopped production in about 2 years. The reason why this car was in production so long as the people love this car. This car is not kind of an efficient car. It's not so hard. It sometimes leaks, so it's not sufficient at all. But we love this car so much. So it's like a child. You know your child is not perfect. they fail and they do wrong things. But even the child are not perfect, you love your child. So I think the architecture is something like that. When we got the prize with Roof House, the owner of the Roof House gave us a great comment. They said, we can't get 100% satisfaction from the Tezuka architects. It's a bit shame, but they said, we love 120%. We love Tezuka architects' work 120%. That's what she said. I thought that was a very good comment. Architecture is like that. Architecture should be like that. Architectures have to stand quite a long time. So architecture is not the kind of fashion, and architecture is not the artwork. So for the artwork, the evaluation comes right after the artwork finishes, but architecture is not like that. Architecture quite have to live long with people, and architecture is about the life of the people. So yeah, we can put many people in, we can put many stuff in. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm sorry, the movie didn't work well. Yeah, I should check more.
Thank you so much for your lecture, dear you.
Thank you.
And any question? Cuando quieras. Si puedes, sí, si no. Pero,
Yeah. Actually, we like wood a lot. Since we built the Asahi Kindergarten, I thought the wood is quite different from the other material, like concrete or steel. When you surrounded by the wood, you can feel the life of the wood. Yeah, you can see the pattern of the wood. Yeah, everything is quite different. And so we can feel the, how can I say, the sunlight which grows the wood, and you can feel the nature through the wood. So I think wood is quite good for the material. And also another reason is that wood is quite cheap. So to keep the budget, wood is quite a good way to make architecture.
more questions?
So when you go to a site?
And somebody like the monk asks you, this is destroyed, can you put something new for me? What's the first thought that comes to your mind?
For the kindergarten project or
Any project.
Yeah, it's a difficult question. But when we design the building, when we design architecture, I always try to think about we should look at who is going to use this architecture in the end. Sometimes the client is the person who provide the money. And for example, hospital, when we designed the hospital, we found out there is no patient in the meeting. But so the architects have to speak for the patient. Yeah? So who is going to use that architecture is the most important. And we have to be we have to feel how the people would feel in that architecture. So when we design the kindergarten, we have to think about like children. Yeah, when we design a hospital, we have to think about like a patient. Yeah, I think that it's quite important for us.
Good afternoon. I'm really interested in knowing about how much risk you take in terms of fighting against regulations. I mean, for example, in the kindergarten, all the design of the hand lines or the fences, protection fences for children, and how do you manage to get, for example, in the house with the roof, to leave all the boundary without any fence? How important is for you to get these really nice spaces? How important is to fight against regulations?
Yeah, actually, we learned many things from the principal of the Fuji Kindergarten. And the principal of the Fuji Kindergarten say that, talk to the parents. Children may break their arm or legs, but he tried to watch the children. They don't break their neck. So that's what they said. And he believes that children can sometimes get injured. It's okay. So that's how they learn how to live. Yeah. So through their injury. So the principal believes that it's important to get injury. Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. Not a serious one. Yeah. So I think we try to make the architecture as safe as possible, but we can leave some kind of danger. Yeah. Kind of, that kind of thing quite important. So we don't need to care about so much, too much. Yeah. It's better not to worry about too much. Yeah. We are protecting too much. Yeah, for children. Yeah, I think.
More questions, please? No one? I would like to ask you, because it seems for me incredible how you can imagine so new things, new uses and new things in your projects. You have a great imagination in all of them. How do you do that?
New imagination, how does it come from?
Yes.
I don't know, from the daily life, yeah, with my children. Yeah, through the daily life, we found, we get the idea. Yeah, I think I can say what we really want doesn't exist in this world, really, in reality, I can say. We try to think about what's the best way to live better. Yeah, yeah. That kind of thing is, I think, is a good way to get new imagination. Yeah,
yeah, thanks.
Yeah, it's okay.
Any more questions? So, thank you so much, Tezuka.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I should have checked more.
Bueno, pues, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Judy. Bueno, la verdad es que Bueno, yo he disfrutado porque además me ha encantado ver plantas, secciones, alzados, maquetas, con personas, que es la finalidad de la arquitectura, que sería un poco... La verdad es que, sí, perdón, me ha encantado la conferencia. Bien, a continuación, lo que vamos a hacer es otorgar el certificado, en primer lugar, de la mejor fotografía en Instagram Challenge, ¿no?, que el título era de Inmotion Aula HNAUPV, y procede a su nombramiento Eva Álvarez. Nos ponemos en pie para... Sí, para...
Bien. No, pues el premio a la mejor fotografía lo lleva Cristian Andrés Guevara.
Muy bien. Y ahora pasamos, ¿no?, a otorgar el premio. Perdona, gracias, Eva. Sí, a otorgar los premios de la primera convocatoria que hemos de PFC Aula HNA UPV, y también procede a su nombramiento Eva Álvarez. Gracias, Iván.
Llamo a Elia García Marco como primer premio. Segundo premio, Isabel Cantabella Frank. Y tercer premio, Araceli Franco Gutiérrez. Y ahora voy a llamar seguidos a los 7 finalistas por si quieren recoger el certificado. Alejandro Martín del Río. David Ferrer Ávila. Inés Muñoz Inglada. Jessica Yadosa Marco. Jesús Utrillas Alcerete. Miriam Camacho Díaz y Estefanía Salvo Gutiérrez. Jessica. Enhorabuena a todos. Ya está. ¿Van los premios?
Bueno, pues agradeciéndoos a todos la asistencia, se levanta la sesión y ahora pasaremos al vestíbulo donde se nos ofrece un vino de honor. Pues pasamos. Muchas gracias a todos.